Happy Friday, everyone. I just wanted to end the week by checking in with you and just sharing with you some important insights that I think can really help everyone continue to move along the path to living your full potential as a person for the rest of your life. And, at the end of each week, I'm just beyond inspired by the clients that we work with and the triumphs that they have and the amazing ability to transform in such a short period of time. And at the same time, I'm also deeply inspired by all the different people that I talk to each week and what challenges they're having and what struggles they're having as they look to come into our program. And I wanted to share some really important emotional training for everyone, which is that, no matter what is happening, no matter what the issues are, no matter how, insurmountable, no matter how significant and dark and treacherous things might seem and, overwhelming and complicated, that the path through everything, the path that can build you strength is to absolutely focus on your purpose as a human being. Focus on your purpose, knowing that you are not here to suffer. That was not the intention whatsoever. And that while we all might have been given some level of foundation from in our lives, from our families, in our communities, in our schools, while many people may have been given a religious foundation, and that's really strong and powerful and influential, recognize that most of us were never, ever given an emotional foundation, and that we're in a new age where life is it's really calling us to grow. It's calling us to build this emotional foundation for ourselves. And that can be really scary when you've got all these kinds of things going on in life and you're trying to keep it all together and you feel like there's no way I could stop and rebuild right now. There's no way I could kind of keep everything together and I've got to, save everything for a rainy day and an emergency because my life has been full of emergencies and I'm used to that kind of struggle versus being able to live my potential. And I know it may seem like, that's the strategy and that's the way to go. And I want to share with you that the answer will always, always be for you to come back and connect to what is my purpose and feel it from the inside out. What am I here to do? Whether it's, being an amazing mom, being an amazing partner, anything, I have so many people each week share with me their vision for their life and their dreams, and they are very powerful, and it's clear that they are highly, high and low. Thank you for watching. It's so amazing when people share with me their vision and their dreams, and they think like this is a big dream, right? But the reality is that calling is inside of them. That purpose to serve humanity and to contribute and make their life significant, these should not be things that feel like a dream, like some impossible thing. This is what is inside of you, and this is what is calling you to grow as a person, right? It's not there to hurt you. It's not there to torture you. It's there to say something that you're doing is not right. It is not enough for you. It is not working for you. And when you feel like you're falling apart, you feel like you're imploding, you feel like you are literally ripping apart at the seams, and there are so many plates spinning and so many things to tend to, and I've got to keep a roof over my head and gas in the car and make sure that in case everything goes wrong, I've just got like enough to like fix a crisis, right? That kind of survival living is a killer, right? And it never allows us to build. It never allows us to scale our life and compound our life into this constant layering of living our purpose and our full potential. And it's really nobody's fault because none of us ever were trained in this. we did not grow up with this kind of conditioning. We grew up basically being taught, you better be this way and be that way. And you were given a prescription as a person because people who cared about you wanted you to be able to survive. They wanted you to be able to work in the system of what is. So they gave you the prescription for survival. And it's no shock to me that that's why most people live in survival mode, no matter how many of my absolutely amazingly wealthy clients with $750 million in the bank still were living like they were surviving, because that's the conditioning that we all got and that we all have. We were not conditioned from the get-go to connect to what was already there inside of us when we were little, which was our purpose, right? Who we were, what that was meant to do, and how to make a life out of who you are and what you feel called to do as a person. And you got all these mixed messages all the time. So it's like, I got to do something to make sure I do the survival program. And that's why most people are super miserable no matter how much they build in their life. And I was there a long time ago too. It's like, wait, I built it all, but this isn't me. This isn't what I want. This isn't emotionally fulfilling. I don't feel emotionally successful. So just recognize that that was not there, and that we've all gone down a path following the survival prescription. No matter what you have in life, no matter how little or how much, that is basically what's gotten us to where we've gotten. So we've been really good at just kind of building ourselves into survival, have enough to survive, or building ourselves structures that just we can live in. We've got like a place to live and a way to get around and things like that, but we're not living, right? There's no life in what people are doing, because that wasn't our conditioning. Because all of our conditioning that we grew up with was mostly built on fear. The fear that you better be this kind of person, you better get all the basic stuff down so that you can just have the basics, you can survive. And then we were also taught to do all kinds of stuff to really make a lot of stuff in life. And for a lot of people, they weren't ever able to build all that stuff because their purpose they weren't aligned with their purpose. And for people who've built a lot of things, most of them aren't aligned with their purpose either, and they are trapped in the prison of everything that they've built. Hey, Mags. There's my girlfriend, one of my favorite people on planet Earth. I love you, Maggie. So just keep this in mind, that we've all gone down this path, and there's nothing wrong with what we did. It's just whether or not it's giving us the outcomes that we want in life. And so if we have whatever foundation we have, right, however big and successful it is, or wherever it is, somehow we're operating on some type of a foundation, right? Even if it's just, I'm just keeping it all together and it's not really what I want, but it's what I've got, and we're just trying to hold on to that. That is one of the definite ways to stay stuck. And you can just, all of a sudden you blink and your whole life is going by. And you go, oh my God, and I'm so exhausted, because you basically did survival mode your whole life. And what I just want you to connect to, because it's really powerful and enjoyable and inspiring, and it'll give you the energy and the drive that you need, is to recognize that your path through life is through your purpose. And even though it might be kind of scary to kind of regroup and connect to building an emotional foundation for yourself, even for some people, if that means, oh my gosh, all these other things in life, they may have to be postponed, they may need to change, I may need to let them go and then rebuild my life when I have my emotional foundation, I'm really going to recommend that to everybody. Because I talk to so many people that are just, they don't have the emotional foundation, they're miserable, and they're just trying to keep it together. And that strategy has an expiration date, and it's crumbling and crushing people. And I was really inspired today by so many courageous people that I talk to, and I'm excited to have as clients in our program. And it was a really powerful decision that was being made about, you know, what if some of my foundation in my life that I'm trying to navigate on, what if some of that has to just, you know, maybe it has to go away, and I have to put my investment into my emotional foundation as a person, so that then I can live my whole rest of my life on the foundation of me. And then that way my foundation is never rocky from where it needs to be. Then everything you add to your life and build and buy and do will be literally sitting on top of the most important foundation that any of us can ever have. And, you know, having been somebody in my life who is absolutely way back when recognizing that I was not going to be able to kind of keep just going in the normal human prescription because it did not fit me and it was really painful. It was really something to like say, no matter how amazing this incredible stuff that I've built up is, I've got to really build the foundation of me up. And that's what's going to carry me all the way through my life, all the way to the end of the road, feeling the way that I want to feel. So I just want to really encourage you all that in any moment where you are questioning, what should I do, and what's the answer, and how do I solve these problems, that just go inward and ask yourself, what's my purpose? What am I doing here? What's my life about? What is from the inside? What's my navigation telling me is the right thing? And to trust that and follow that path. That path will never steer you wrong, even though it may look different than other people's path. And yet it takes a tremendous amount of courage to say, you know what? I am going to live from my purpose. I'm going to live that purpose. And I'm going to build my life around that, no matter what it takes, because it comes with a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to recognize when the whole other way of doing things just doesn't work. And when your body and your being and you're just feeling horrible, and it may be that it starts to melt down, you start to implode, you start to, you know, scream at everybody, or you want to, or you're going through the motions of life. And you just recognize you're just existing, and that doesn't work for you anymore. And I just want to let you know that in a very short period of time, things can be very different. And all it takes is a decision that something inside of you says, whatever foundation I have right now, I've got to build this foundation within me. And that's something that I know and I'm going to trust and follow. And I hope that you'll do that for yourself, because when you do that, then everything else you're doing in life just becomes, it becomes what you want it to be and what you intended it to be, instead of you looking around going, why am I doing all these things and I have the opposite experience of what I really intended? And it's a simple answer that having a strong emotional foundation is the way to make everything in life that you want happen. So if any of you have any questions or comments, I look forward to hearing, to having you share them. And if you want to learn about how you can get an emotional foundation, we look forward to having you just reach out and get on my schedule. All right, everyone. So have a wonderful weekend. And no matter what happens, your number one go-to strategy is, what is my purpose here? And that'll give you the answer to everything that you're wondering about. All right, take care. Bye-bye.